Imagine waking up every day with the constant fear that your bones might break at any moment. Every movement is calculated, every step can be a risk, and suddenly, simple tasks, like getting out of bed or climbing a small step, turn into daunting challenges. For many people, this is the harsh reality of osteoporosis, a silent disease that weakens the bones and drastically increases the risk of fractures. According to the International Osteoporosis Foundation, 1/3 of people over 70 suffer from bone fragility, which can lead to dangerous falls and even total loss of mobility. The worst part? Many only discover the condition when it's too late. However, there is good news. Even in old age, it is possible to strengthen the bones and reverse this situation. Today, you will learn an impressive story, that of Dom Pablo, a 90-year-old man who faced the worst challenges of osteoporosis. At the most critical moment of his life, when he realized that his strength was fading and that his body was becoming increasingly vulnerable, he made a decision that changed everything. And what he did not only restored his health, but can also transform yours. Before we continue, comment below your age and where you are watching this video from. Your engagement helps us keep bringing valuable content for your health. And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the best information for your health and well-being. Now, let's get to Dom Pablo's story. Dom Pablo had always been an active man. He loved walking through the streets of his city, tending the small garden in his backyard, and helping his neighbors with small renovations and household tasks. His friends used to say he had the energy of a young man, even though he had passed his 80s. But everything changed on an ordinary morning. While trying to grab a flower pot from a high shelf, Dom Pablo lost his balance and fell. The impact did not seem serious at first, but the pain was immediate. Taken to the hospital, he received the news that would change his life. He had fractured his hip. The reason? His bones were extremely fragile due to osteoporosis. The word resonated in his mind like a sentence. He had always believed that osteoporosis was a distant problem, something that only happened to more fragile people. But now, each day without action meant a greater risk of another fracture. And if that happened, he might never walk again. In the following days, Dom Pablo faced one of the most difficult moments of his life. Simple tasks, like getting out of bed or rising from a chair, became enormous challenges. He realized that the independence he always valued was rapidly fading. Needing help for basic activities was a harsh blow for him. But instead of succumbing to frailty and fear, Dom Pablo made a decision. He would not let osteoporosis define his life. Determined to regain his strength, he began to search for solutions. And what he discovered not only strengthened his bones, but also restored his confidence and vitality. The first step of this transformation began with something simple yet extremely powerful: sun exposure. During a visit to the doctor, Dom Pablo received advice that at first glance seemed obvious. However, when he put it into practice, everything changed. The doctor explained that the sun is one of the greatest allies for bone health, but that it is necessary to know how to take advantage of it properly. Curious, Dom Pablo decided to follow the instructions and turn sunbathing into a daily ritual. But he learned that it wasn't enough just to go outdoors. There was an ideal time and a correct way for his body to truly absorb the benefits. He began to sunbathe every morning between 7 and 9 a.m., a period when the sun's rays are rich in vitamin D, essential for calcium absorption in the bones. To ensure that his body took full advantage of this process, he exposed his arms and legs directly to the sun, avoiding excessive clothing that would block absorption. Moreover, he did not remain still. During his sunbathing, he walked slowly around the yard, moving his arms and legs to stimulate circulation and keep his joints active. The results began to appear in just a few weeks. Joint pain decreased. The feeling of bone weakness was replaced by confidence, and he felt more willing to engage in activities that before seemed impossible. Studies published by the Endocrine Society show that sun exposure at the correct times significantly increases the production of vitamin D, a nutrient essential for the absorption of calcium in the bones and the prevention of osteoporosis. In addition, sunlight stimulates the production of endorphins, which improves well-being and the disposition to maintain an active routine. But that was only the first change Dom Pablo made on his journey against osteoporosis. He knew that to achieve even more powerful results, he needed to adopt other habits. That was when he discovered an ancient secret passed down from generation to generation: massage with mustard oil. It was during a conversation at the local market that an elderly vendor shared this tip with him. According to the merchant, his family had been using this oil for decades to keep their bones strong. Intrigued, Dom Pablo decided to try it. Every night before going to sleep, he warmed up a little mustard oil until it was lukewarm and gently massaged the most affected areas, such as his hips, knees, and spine. He soon noticed that this practice had a surprising impact. The heat penetrated deeply into the muscles and joints, promoting improved blood circulation and helping to better absorb the essential minerals for bone health. Mustard oil contains selenium, a nutrient with anti-inflammatory properties that helps with the retention of calcium in the bones. Studies published in the Journal of Inflammation Research indicate that massages with heated natural oils can reduce inflammation and stimulate bone regeneration. As the weeks passed, Dom Pablo noticed that his posture was firmer, his mobility improved, and the feeling of bone weakness diminished. The fear of falling was being replaced by new confidence as he walked and moved around the house. But he hadn't finished his transformation yet. He knew that if he wanted even better results, he would need to reinforce his diet with the right nutrients. In addition to sunbathing and mustard oil massages, Dom Pablo understood that his bones needed proper nutrition to become stronger. He realized that his diet needed to be adjusted to include ingredients rich in calcium, magnesium, and other essential vitamins for bone health. During a consultation with a nutritionist at the local health center, he received valuable advice. "Your plate can be your best medicine." Those words stayed in his mind and motivated him to reformulate his diet. Dom Pablo began to include powerful foods for bone rebuilding. One of the first was black beans and chickpeas. Both are rich in magnesium and phosphorus, minerals essential for bone density. He started preparing dishes that combined these legumes with vegetables, ensuring efficient nutrient absorption. Another food he added to his routine was sardines with bones. The nutritionist explained that the small bones in sardines are rich in natural calcium and extremely beneficial for bone health. Since then, Dom Pablo began consuming sardines at least 3 times a week. In addition, he increased his intake of dark leafy greens, such as kale and spinach. These vegetables are rich in vitamin K, an essential nutrient for calcium metabolism. He started preparing green juices and simple sautés, making these foods a constant part of his diet. Another surprising addition to his diet was pumpkin seeds. He discovered that these seeds are rich in zinc, a crucial mineral for bone formation. He began consuming a handful of pumpkin seeds every day, mixing them with yogurt or adding them to his meals. But the true change came with a powerful elixir that he began taking every morning. During a visit to the market, Dom Pablo met a gentleman who revealed a family secret, a drink that his grandfather consumed daily, which helped him keep strong bones until the age of 98. The recipe was simple yet extremely effective. The elixir was composed of a glass of calcium-fortified almond milk, a tablespoon of crushed sesame seeds, a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a pinch of black pepper, and a teaspoon of pure honey. Dom Pablo began preparing this mixture every morning. He warmed the almond milk and slowly mixed the ingredients, drinking it calmly and feeling the warmth spread throughout his body. The effect was surprising. The calcium present in the sesame seeds and the milk directly helped fortify his bones, while turmeric had a powerful anti-inflammatory effect, reducing joint pain. Meanwhile, the black pepper increased the absorption of the active compounds in turmeric, enhancing its benefits. Over time, Dom Pablo noticed a significant difference. His posture was firmer, his pains had diminished, and he felt more secure when walking. But he knew there was one last challenge: the lack of movement. Even with a reinforced diet and healthy habits, he needed to exercise so that his bones could truly strengthen. Remembering the advice of an old friend who also suffered from osteoporosis, Dom Pablo decided it was time to move. His friend always said, "If you don't use your bones, they will weaken." Without access to a gym, he began to improvise. He created a simple but effective exercise routine he could do at home. Every day, he took short walks inside his own house, and when he felt safe, he walked around the yard. He also used the steps on his porch to slowly go up and down, strengthening the muscles in his legs and the bones in his hips. To exercise his arms, he filled water bottles and used them as improvised weights. He moved his arms gently, strengthening his shoulders and upper body. In addition, he began practicing light stretches with a towel. He kept his spine firm and performed careful movements to avoid falls. The results were impressive. In just a few weeks, Dom Pablo felt that his legs were stronger and his balance had improved. The fear of falling decreased, and he felt more confident walking around the house. Studies from the National Osteoporosis Society show that resistance and bodyweight exercises are essential to stimulate bone growth and increase mineral density. But Dom Pablo wanted to ensure that his posture remained firm and that his mobility was not compromised. That was when he learned a simple yet very effective technique: stretching with elastic bands. During a conversation with a physiotherapist at the health center, he learned that using elastic bands helped strengthen not only the muscles, but also the bones. He began practicing 3 types of exercises with elastic bands: arm and shoulder stretches. He held the elastic band with his hands and slowly opened his arms, feeling a gentle resistance. This exercise helped strengthen the shoulders and improve posture. Spine stretches. He fixed the elastic band to a stationary point and gently leaned backward, stretching his spine. This movement helped prevent the curvature of the spine caused by osteoporosis. Exercises for the legs and hips. He tied the elastic around his legs and performed resistance movements, strengthening the muscles of the hips and knees, preventing falls. As the weeks passed, Dom Pablo noticed a significant difference. His posture became more upright, he felt steadier when walking, and his pains diminished. Studies in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy indicate that exercises with elastic bands help increase bone density, strengthen the supporting muscles of the spine, and prevent fractures. Today, at 90 years old, Dom Pablo lives with vitality and confidence. He proved that even in old age, it is possible to transform bone health with simple and effective habits. His story is an example that it is never too late to seek quality of life. If you or someone you love faces challenges with osteoporosis, start today. Small changes can bring great results. Each day without action increases the risk of fractures that can change your life forever. But as Dom Pablo demonstrated, your bones can be strengthened with determination, knowledge, and the right habits. If this video was useful for you, share it with friends and family who might benefit from this information. Leave your comment below telling us about your experience and which of these habits you already practice or intend to adopt. And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to continue following content that can transform your health. Dom Pablo's story teaches us that small changes can generate incredible transformations in bone health. However, he knew that simply eating well, getting sun, and exercising was not enough. To ensure that his journey against osteoporosis was truly effective, he needed to remain disciplined and consistent. One of the biggest challenges for those who want to strengthen their bones is consistency. Many people start motivated, but end up giving up after a few weeks. Dom Pablo, however, understood that the only way to guarantee results was to turn these habits into part of his daily routine. He established fixed times for his practices. Every morning before breakfast, he took his strength elixir. Then he went for his therapeutic sun bath, enjoying the tranquility of the morning. During the day, he maintained his diet reinforced with foods rich in calcium and magnesium. In the evening, before going to sleep, he performed the mustard oil massage to relax his muscles and improve circulation. On days when he felt more tired, Dom Pablo did only light stretches with the elastic bands, ensuring that his body stayed active without overload. He learned to listen to his body, respecting its limits, but without giving up his commitment to his health. This discipline brought extraordinary results. Over the months, Dom Pablo not only recovered his mobility and strength, but also his self-confidence. The fear of falling was replaced by a sense of control over his own health. His neighbors began to notice the difference. Many were surprised to see him walking safely and energetically around the streets again. Some even asked what his secret was. With a smile on his face, he shared his routine and encouraged others to adopt similar habits. Science confirms what Dom Pablo experienced in practice. Research shows that the combination of sun exposure, a diet rich in calcium, and regular physical exercise can not only prevent osteoporosis, but even reverse some of the damage caused by the disease. According to a study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research, the daily practice of resistance exercises can increase bone density by up to 8% in the elderly. Additionally, regular exposure to sunlight can reduce the risk of fractures by up to 30%. Dom Pablo is living proof that regardless of age, it is possible to strengthen bones and regain quality of life. But his learning did not stop there. He also discovered that bone health is directly linked to mental and emotional health. During his recovery process, Dom Pablo realized that maintaining a positive mind made all the difference. He began dedicating a few minutes each day to gratitude, reflecting on his achievements and focusing on what could still be improved. This change in mindset was crucial. He realized that osteoporosis did not have to be a sentence, but rather a challenge to be overcome. With this new perspective, he felt increasingly motivated to continue taking care of himself. If you have read this far, know that you too can strengthen your bones and improve your health, regardless of your age. The most important thing is to start now. Do not wait for the situation to worsen to take action. Small daily changes can bring surprising results. Now, we want to know from you, which of these habits do you already practice? Did you ever imagine that something as simple as sunlight could strengthen your bones? Leave your comment below and share your experience. If this video was useful for you, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel to continue receiving content that can transform your health. And of course, share this video with friends and family. This information can make all the difference in the life of someone you love. Remember, age does not define your health. What really matters are the choices you make every day. And as Dom Pablo showed us, it's never too late to start over.